So of course we're going to be showing you how we pulled off that frozen in time shot, but like later. First, I want to give you your last reminder that tomorrow is Black Friday. If you're watching this on the 28th, if you're watching it on the 29th, Black Friday is right now. And if you're watching it after that, you missed it. But hey, there's Cyber Monday.
This is true.
As always, we have a massive sale on the store. It's 60% off of all of our new goodies, 80% off of everything else, but only for the first hour, which is 12 a.m. to 1 a.m., and that's CST. After that, it's 50% off and 75% off for the rest of the day. And we have some new stuff that I'm really excited about. You can see details for all of that in a link in the notes below. And I'm most excited to tell you guys this one, which is something that you've been asking for a very long time. We are finally bringing back apparel to our store, shirts, hats, and some hoodies, some designs that you've seen already, and some brand new ones as well. Those are going up on Black Friday also. The apparel is only gonna be 10% off on Black Friday, which is the most we could do before, losing money. So grab that. Links for everything below. But getting back to our shot, and before we get into the VFX, let's take a look at how we made this shot possible at all. To pull this off, we used a new slider and motion control system that we got from Edelkrone, who is also sponsoring this episode that you're watching with both of your eyes and your eyes. But before doing this episode with them, we spent a lot of time toying around with this new system to get familiar and make sure it was something that we loved, and we love it. Like we showed in another episode, we use this system to shoot the end credits plates for my film There Comes a Knocking. The system as a whole is several different parts working all together, like the Slider Plus Pro, which is definitely one of the better sliders that I use. You have this 2-foot railing system that slides even further than that because of how the slider moves with the camera, which is a big plus because it makes it a lot less likely that you're gonna see the rails in your shot if you're shooting down them. It also has a nice lock right here to stop your movement, which should be an obvious and standard thing on sliders, but it's shocking how often that's missing. But then I'll toss on my slide module V2 to motorize this sliding movement and finish it all off with our Head Plus. This is our motorized pan and tilt head. We also have our focus module add-on. This will allow you to do smart object tracking, which can come in handy with movement and focus pulling. Now, of course, all of this is great for getting very smooth shots like we did for our end credits, or you can use it as an interview setup, as an unmanned system that is still getting nice fluid movement, or especially if you're someone who records yourself by yourself without anyone, it's just if you're a lonely filmmaker. But what I was most interested in is its possibilities when it comes to the effects. Motion control rigs are insanely useful for this sort of thing because you can run the same shot over and over to get plates or several passes for any number of reasons, like an interesting passage of time or a much more impressive cloning technique like this. Of having a system like this is it makes very complicated shots like this incredibly easy. So what once would have taken a massive and crazy high-priced piece of gear, which would need special software and a crew, I'm doing with a small piece of gear on an app on my phone. Because technology.
This is true.
But to do this specific cloning shot, we just set up the shot that we wanted by grabbing and moving our camera to get our first point. Then in the app, we just set that here to tell the system this is our 1. Then we move to our 2 and set that in the app as well. And now we can run this shot over and over on a loop. So 1 pass will be our clean plate, then 1 full pass of Josh in his first position, 1 in his second, and 1 in third. Then in post, we could do this all in Premiere because all we need to do is line up the shots, throw on simple masks to bring them all together, and that's it. Took us maybe 20 minutes from start to finish. And all that simplicity it can bring to certain VFX shots that don't end up looking simple at all is a lot of fun, like this one. which I'm sure you guessed already that this is just cutting between different passes, just several takes of Pigman in different spots so that we could cut between them to create this glitchy effect. And of course, like we showed in our opening shot, you can get more detailed with this as well and get all sorts of impressive stuff. For this one, we wanted to have Josh suspended in midair, paused as he was diving forward, shooting Matrix style. To shoot it, like the others, we just ran the shot a few times on the same motion. First pass was Josh laying on a stool, and to help him stay still, we put up some stands that he could rest his arms and legs on to keep everything as steady as possible. Then our second pass was just a clean plate so we could remove everything that we didn't want in the scene, and that's the bulk of the idea behind this shot and the others that we showed, was getting these two shots together with this motion controlled move so we can blend the two shots to create this final effect, which really, as I'm sure you already guessed, is all about rotoing. We're just masking out the things within the scene that we don't want to be seen to give that illusion that Josh is actually floating. There are things that you can do with 3D tracking and mats to make this process a whole lot easier, which we'll get to in another tutorial, which is a detailed version of this. But after that, it was just some VFX magic to add in those bullet trails and the smoke that you see in there, which is from our new VFX asset pack. And that just pushes the idea that this is that Matrix style frozen in time shot. And again, we have a full detailed tutorial on how you could pull this off in After Effects, so jump over to Film Riot Extras to find that. We'll put a link in the notes below for you as well. And obviously, it doesn't have to be a time freeze effect. It can work well for any type of floating, really. And again, the best part about the system and doing this motion control for shots like this is how simple it is to get those shots. Everything on the system connects very intuitively. You can even go full battery powered to get rid of any cabling, and the app to use the system is the most intuitive that I've used for something like this yet. And yes, again, this is sponsored by Edelkrone, but as always, we made sure we loved this product before accepting, so I would say this either way. And as I mentioned earlier, Black Friday is here, so it's the perfect time to grab one of these if you are looking for a system like this, since everything on their store is up to 30% off until December 2nd. I'll put links to all of that in the notes below for your faces and your eyes and such, so go click and enjoy, or don't. I'm not gonna threaten you about it. But that's it for me for today. If you celebrate the season of eating, have a wonderful and safe holiday weekend. If you don't, have a wonderful and safe normal weekend. Go see The Lighthouse or Knives Out. Both are amazing. Okay, bye. Oh, right, should edit repeat. Okay, bye.